Hey friends, it's Awkwardly Random with Cinthya and Michelle, where we talk about random topics.
Anything and everything awkward is on the table, so let's dive right in.
Welcome everybody, welcome back to Awkwardly Random with Cinthya and Michelle.
Woo! We have two special guests today joining us. We're lucky to have them back.
Where did she go? Oh,
just leave it like that, Yackie. Just leave it up. Yeah,
okay,
like that.
You should. Girl, you just disappeared.
Right when I was introducing y'all. Never mind.
She said we have two special guests and one of them left.
All right, we have
oh, it's funny.
Cynthia's sister Brenda, who has been on the podcast before, and then we have my sister Yackie, who has also been on the podcast. Say hello.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Welcome back, y'all. We haven't had you both in a while. It's been a hot minute, and we also haven't had guests in a while, so we're very grateful that y'all are here with us today. First of all, Valentine's Day. Do y'all celebrate it? Is this like a thing for you? Or maybe let's backtrack. Maybe one of y'all can start with like how long you've been in a relationship and stuff like that, and then you can go into if you celebrate Valentine's Day. How does that sound?
Good.
Okay.
I'll start. The relationship I'm in right now, I've been in for 4.5 years. And I guess, do we celebrate Valentine's Day? I guess I don't know what you would consider a celebrate. Like we don't,
Whatever it means to you.
We don't go necessarily like all out, especially if it falls during the week, because he also has a child, and our kids are the same age. So we have 2 kids at home, and during the week they're both in school. We both work, and it just gets very busy. So I guess we don't do anything like extravagant, but we obviously like wish each other a happy Valentine's Day, remind each other that we love each other, a small token of appreciation with a little gift, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Nice.
Simple.
For real. I relate to that. So Jesus and I've talked about this on the podcast. All of y'all had met Jesus. We've been together since 2013. So a really long time. And for Valentine's Day, I guess I relate to like, what do you mean by celebrate? Because I feel like people have different definitions of it. And, since we've been together for so long, we've been together since we were in college, and we were long distance. So there were certain times where like we didn't see each other on Valentine's Day. So all we got was like a happy Valentine's Day or something like that. So so we'd had a range of how we celebrate, I guess, Valentine's Day. Sometimes like we will go out to eat, or sometimes it is during the weekend. Like we're tired and we don't want to do anything. We just want to like chill at home, but we still like say, we love you and happy Thanksgiving.
While we're at it, Merry Christmas, Happy 4th of July.
Pretty much. That's how it happens, you still wish each other.
So we gotta celebrate all the holidays all the way.
Yes, but y'all know what I mean, right? But I guess now that I feel like that we're older and like that we have like money and stuff, now I feel like we are like, oh, let's treat ourselves, let's do something. But yeah. Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of them.
All of it. That's so cool. All right. That's a factor of being long distance. Like that's something that I've never experienced, and I don't have kids either, so I don't really relate in that aspect. But yeah, that's really cool to hear both of y'all's experience. Yackie, what about you, girl?
So,
even when I said it, I was like, go ahead. Drink
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to hold it in. I don't know why I want to laugh.
Sorry.
So me and my boyfriend, we just completed our second year being together. We like to do all that cute stuff. So we don't give each other gifts on Valentine's Day, but we like to celebrate our love or just like spend quality time together. So we'll do something like we'll do a dinner. But like me and him, we like to do that every once in a while, or like we usually only see each other on the weekends. So we always do something at like whether it's something small or like just going grocery shopping or going shopping together, lo que me falta. So like me just like spending time together. So we like to sometimes we'll go out to dinner for like date nights, and we just kind of do it spontaneously, But we still do it on Valentine's Day, like. Maybe we'll go somewhere nicer, or somewhere we've never really been, somewhere we dress up. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So we just like to hang out. So he's planning something he's like, oh, I'm going to plan. Ya luego te digo, like kind of surprise. So a ver qué hacemos. But yeah.
That's nice.
Do you like that, Jackie? Do you like being surprised?
Heck yeah.
Or giving surprises?
I love surprises.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because some people don't like that, so it's always interesting to hear like what people think about that. And like that's cool, right?
Desde el principio, I'm like, whenever you want to surprise me, like go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm not shy about it.
For real.
Go ahead.
Yeah. But I like to be like that with him, so we'll do stuff like that. But we like it's just like me and my dog and like my mom, so it's like it's flexible for us to like do stuff, So we're like taking advantage because I told him like whenever we go out or like right now we do that because like we also don't live together ni nada de eso, so we're like doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, cute. I saw this on TikTok. Like people are saying you should ask your partner to be your Valentine even though you're already together. Is that a thing for you all?
No.
No, we don't talk about
Why do you
like
just
that.
assume?
Yeah. I do it to be like cute and like cheesy if I want to be cheesy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's assumed that he's gonna say yes. Like if you
Pues
like,
sí, and like
right? Like,
yeah.
You know you got some problems.
Yeah.
But that's a thing that you like to do. Like you like to ask, "Will you be my Valentine?" Or you like to be asked. Is that a thing? You like to be asked?
I've never been asked.
Oh,
now that I think about it.
Okay. Yeah.
At least I don't
like
think
so.
so.
For some people, that's not really a thing.
Yeah.
With someone for X amount of time, it's kind of already presumed that you're gonna be each other's Valentine.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. At this point, I don't like. I wouldn't feel bad if I don't get asked. I feel like it's already implied because we've been together for so long. But me like trying to be cheesy, I'll just be like, "You want to be my Valentine?" And like, I'll give him something, like that, like or something, just trying to be silly or goofy about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cute. So Jasmine and I will be 2 years in May. And I think we do like to celebrate it. I mean, I like to celebrate it. We usually just like, we'll go out to eat somewhere or try something new, a new activity. That's something that we do like to do. Like we've gone rock climbing before just to try it out, like the two of us, things like that. So I think for Valentine's Day, I think I can relate to all of you that we do like to do something, whether it's very basic, just being at home doing something together or going out and doing something. But I don't know. I think it's always nice. I don't think like Valentine's is the only day you should be expressing your love, but I think there is like some meaning to it and stuff like that. It could be very meaningful and special. So yeah.
For sure.
So we all established that we're all in relationships. Would we all say that we're also in long-term relationships?
Yes.
Yeah.
You would say you are.
Yes, only because in my opinion, a long-term relationship is anything longer than like a year.
Oh, interesting.
That's how I take it, at least. Anything longer than a year. And we're all over that.
Yeah. Jackie, what do you think?
I think
What's a long-term relationship?
I think for me, it's more like the intentionality behind it, even if we started earlier. Like, hey, like I'm committed to you and committed to having us grow and work together, like that's what I would define it. But I feel like it's like after you have that conversation, after you just know or know whatever that means for you and your partner, I think it's that.
But if you have that conversation like a month in,
like, do you think there's a time frame?
Yeah.
Like, after this time, we're long term.
Right.
Like,
or like, do you think it's after the conversation?
No. No, I don't think so. I think that...
You don't think so? You think you need to have that conversation?
Yeah. I think for me, it's more like... I don't think I work that way either. Like, I don't think I always expect long-term relationships when I meet people. Like, I think I kind of just take it as it goes.
Yeah.
Like, I very much go with the flow.
Right.
So I think it's like when after I have that conversation with somebody, I'm like, hey, like, I really do like you. I really do want to make this work. Like, I'm committed to you and like to have, like we've talked for forever amount of time that feels like it's right for that person or for me, because like I feel like for me, I have a lot of trust issues, and like if I'm not committed to you, I don't trust you, and it's that simple, and you can't get my trust that quickly,
So then, would you even be in a relationship with them in the first place, or like is it like
I think we were
let's date and then that trust builds, over time.
Yeah. But I feel like even dating creates some kind of relationship. So that's why like the dating phase can be a year or it could be like a year and a half or 2 years. Like for me, it was different, right? And like we talked about it and we did our thing and he was okay with it. And like I was, because I have a lot of issues and like I have a lot of issues and shit like that. And I don't trust easily. So for me, like I think we were in a relationship where we would get to know each other for a long time. So I was like, okay, like I could see this working out for the long run. Because
I get it.
It takes me a while to like really bring down the walls. So for me to say like, okay, I'm committed for the long run, then that's So yeah.
That makes sense because you're talking about like dating and then like relationships.
Yeah, and I feel like
the long-term relationship.
Yeah, and I feel like from someone outside, they're like, oh, pues tú ya has estado con él por tanto tiempo, like ya se van a casar. Like,
that's what you mean?
Yeah, I feel like some people might see it different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, people see it differently.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I see it as a combination of what you said, Minna. So I call her Minna for people who are listening and don't know. My sister Brenda. I kind of see it as a mix of what you're saying and then also what Yackie is saying. Because I think the timing is important, at least for me, right? Like, over time, you get to know somebody pretty well, and then you find that point where, Yackie, you were saying, like, okay, I trust you, and I'm committed to you, and I want to be with you. But I think for me, that comes with time, and so, like, it took me a little while, too, to see myself in a long-term relationship because I wasn't sure in the beginning because you don't know right until like, you start to really get to know the person and get comfortable with them and you start to open up and you start to be vulnerable with them and them with you, right? And so like I think that creates kind of an opening for a long-term like potential there. So like I see the timing and then I also see like, okay, do I see a future with you? Do I want to keep, putting effort into this relationship? And if they also see the same thing or want to do the same thing, I think that's part of it. So I feel like I see both mixed together makes a long-term relationship.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think I also see it with timelines too, but I guess it just depends on people but I definitely do think it takes a commitment, a level of commitment, talking about it. But then I personally think that anything past 6 months is long term, in my opinion.
Past 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why. Like if you've already decided to commit to each other and you pass the 6 months, I feel like after that, I think you could say that's more long term. Anything but before 6 months, I think is a little not long term, in my opinion.
Okay. So interesting. So people have different timelines, different like perspectives on it. That's pretty cool. That's how we wanted to have y'all on here because each of us are in different, I think, stages or places maybe in our relationship and different experiences within relationships. So it's always cool to hear that.
I thought it was like 2 years.
Really?
What, a long term?
Like after 2 years.
Well, you're getting there.
Okay.
Does that mean you're does that mean you're a long term?
Yeah.
Does that mean you're a long term?
I thought I was long term after a year.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Personally.
Yeah.
But I think when someone tells me like or something, like I feel like part of it is just like, like someone's like, oh, that's a long term relationship because they told me they were together for 2.5 or 3 years. If someone told me a year, I'm like, oh, pues todavía se está conociendo. Because
I know. Okay, so you say 2 years. That's Brenda says 1 year, right? And then I say 6 months. And
6 months.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's my opinion. Yeah. And you, Cynthia, what do you say? Do you have a number or not?
I'd probably go between 8 months to a year, somewhere in there. But also, like, you could be on and off for a year, and like, is that like?
Let me clear that up. Then it has to be one consistent year
where you're committed, you're exclusive, you're like together. Yes,
that's why I count 2 years.
Yes, and I would agree. She's not thinking of 2 years. Okay.
Jackie's like, mine is applicable for everything.
Actually, yeah, it could be.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
That just, to me, 2 sounds good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I feel like I don't know. Sorry, my bad.
No, go ahead.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like people change with the seasons and like with just like time and growth, and that's why I feel like 2 years is good because you see them grow with you, or like
if you're still together after all that.
I feel like all that is important, like financially, mentally, physically, like de todo in 2 years, and like I feel like that says a lot. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I think about that.
That's true.
I think about it like that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so, you really get to know someone after 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're all in long-term relationships. Michelle, you live with your partner. Mena, you live with your partner. I live with my partner. Yackie, you said you don't live with your partner. So this will be interesting too to kind of hear your experiences. Being in a long-term relationship, I found that we have like just kind of merged our lives together and set up a routine, like a day-to-day like thing. It's just like it's become like our daily routines, right? Like we each go to work and then we come home and we hang out and then we go to sleep, like whatever. Do you find yourselves like naturally coming into a routine with your partners over time? Especially I guess you two because you're living together. Like, and then Yackie too. I want to hear also like about your experience. Okay, you could.
You're sideways. You should just flip it back. Can you flip it back?
My phone is charging.
You're charging it. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, y'all.
I know.
Oh no, that's okay.
It's not okay.
Let me know, like, what? Yeah, it's okay, Yackie. It's okay, girl.
You're the complete opposite of her. She's like OCD about keeping her phone at 99%. It's charging right now, and she's at 80%.
Gotta always have that battery in hand.
Yeah, I'm like, that's enough.
They always hate on me for that.
She doesn't let it get lower than 50%.
Oh, wow. Mine's always below 50.
Girl, yes, yours is always dying.
Yeah.
We'll be FaceTiming, planning for the podcast, and all of a sudden it'll cut off, and she'll be like, oh, my phone died. Sorry. Every time. Almost every time.
I know, I need to do better, okay? Okay, I got it.
No, you're good. Okay, back to routines, y'all.
Oh, yeah, routines.
Okay. Mena, you go first. Tell me about, like, your day-to-day. Did y'all have to agree to a schedule to be able to, like, live together? Did y'all just naturally...
It kind of naturally happened. Like, obviously, we had to communicate about certain, like, things here and there, but it all came naturally together. Because we both work, and our hours are a little similar. We both work mainly in the morning, and with the kids both being in school, and they go to the same school, so they're on the exact same schedule. Mm-hmm. So that put us on basically the exact same schedule with them, and that's just, yeah, our days are get up, get the kids ready for school. If I usually drop them off because their school is right next to my job, so it just makes more sense. Mm-hmm. But we get them ready for school. I get myself ready for work. We leave. I drop them off, go to work. He's at work. And then after school, you know, we get home. Usually we get home before him. And then it's dinner, bath if they need a bath. They do reading every day, so I read with one, he reads with the other, and then we do our bedtime routine, which is like go potty, brush your teeth, put your jammies on, and then once they're asleep, that's our time to, like, usually I'll clean, I'll take a shower, we'll lay down and watch TV, and that's our literally Monday through Friday. I mean, that's just, but it's not something we had to, like, talk about, like, okay, we're going to do this, like, it's what we have to do, like, to keep up with them, and then, like, for us, and just, yeah, I think kids makes it especially more, like, I don't know what the word is, but you kind of have to have a routine with kids. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure if we didn't have them, I mean, we would still have somewhat of a routine, but I feel like it might be a little bit more, like, lenient. Like,
more
we
flexible.
don't have to eat dinner at 6 o'clock because we could be up till 10 o'clock. Like, but we have to feed them, you know, and they're both hungry right after school. So we, like, have to feed them, and they have to be in bed pretty early because they wake up really early. So they have made it so that way we have this routine set up. Yeah.
That's nice that you have your, like, together time after the kids go to sleep, right? Like, you still have time together.
If we're
just
awake.
You two. Yeah, like, yeah.
There have been times where we're just exhausted, and, like, their kids' bedtime is 7:30 usually, between 7:30 and 8. And there's been times where we are literally, like, we put them to bed and then we go to bed, like, right after them.
Yeah.
Gotta
like
get
that
rest.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess for me, I like routines. And since the beginning, we started long distance, we kind of needed a routine to be able to communicate. Like, oh, we had classes this time. Let's study together and talk this time, or we have to plan to visit. So starting off that, I think we initially started our relationship with a routine. And even moving in together, like, I was in law school and he was working full time. I had my routine and his routine, and we combined them together, and we had to make it work. And right now, I mean, we both work. We have Mia, she's a dog, she's super flexible to work with. Jesus works from home, so it's pretty easy. Like, our routine now, it's just more like when we wake up and then when we go to sleep. I'm trying to be better in terms of, like, just habits for myself, like sleeping early, but in terms of together, like, I think we do have a pretty lenient schedule or routine, but I do try to, because I try to be healthier, and we're trying to be healthier, we're trying to set, like, a more structured routine for us. But I think routines are normal, especially with long-term relationships, and I guess people have different routines just to whatever works for them. And yeah, I think that's part of cohabitating with somebody, or even if you don't cohabitate, you want to spend time together, you have to figure out your schedules and when you can meet and when you can do things.
I think there's that, obviously you have to do it, right? Because you're together, and for people living together, right? And then there's also, like, I think for me and Jasmine, it was also of just trial and error. Like, we figured out what worked easiest. Like, since I work from home full time, I'm usually the one to feed our two dogs when we had them. Now we just have Mila. So I did all of that. I took them out during the day. She woke up earlier than me, so it made more sense for her to take them out in the morning. Like, so things like that, it just kind of made sense. So we just, like, figured out what worked best for us. And then we just kind of, like, set our schedules that way. We don't have kids, but we do have our dog, and similar to Mila's very Right now she does, because she had a little bit of an accident, but she's good. She's doing better. She's healing. But you know, she's an adult. Like, she's 7 years old. She's an older dog. She doesn't require that much. She's pretty independent, so it's been fairly easy. And then Jasmine works full time. I work full time. So like, typically we'll just like meet after work at home, whatever. She'll come home and we'll either make dinner together or something, or we'll watch a show. Like, we usually like to watch shows together and progress through the shows together. So we'll get excited for like, okay, let's watch an episode of this, and we're on this season and all this kind of stuff. So we kind of still incorporate like things to do together within our routines that we enjoy and that are part of the day-to-day. But that's basically our Monday through Friday. Like, work, finish with work, do what we got to do with Mila, make food, eat, chill, relax, and then go to bed and then repeat. So yeah, it's pretty like this. It's pretty much the same on our day-to-day basis.
What about you, Jackie?
Me and him are probably a little bit like, we go with the flow. We just hang out on the weekends because our schedules are different. Like, he usually works more temprano en la mañana, like early in the morning, and we live apart. Y luego yo trabajo más en la evening. But by the time he's waking up, I'm going to sleep, dude. Casi.
Yeah.
Es que yo me duermo tarde.
Yeah.
You know? And on the weekends, I have my dog, so usually we just hang out at my house, or we walk. We like to walk together.
Yeah.
Or we'll do stuff with Nala, you know? And then we'll do like a little, like, salimos a comer, or hacemos a comer aquí, or it's just like stuff like that, but we kind of hang out, keep it chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Do you have to plan for like phone calls or something, or FaceTimes, or is that like what do y'all do there?
Me and him?
Yeah, because me and Jasmine, when we weren't living together, we would like FaceTime at night. That was pretty much it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was part of our routine, is our phone calls or our FaceTimes. You know?
Yeah. I call him whenever, dude. If he's not, pues no contesta.
We see? I love that.
He does the same thing, but usually he calls me when I'm off. And like, I tell him, hey, I'm off. Because I have like random breaks throughout the day, because like, I don't always have the same schedule, same person coming in. Yeah. So if I know if he's on lunch, le echo una llamada, or like after he's out of work, if I have a break, I'll call him, and like, si contesta, si no. You know, like that. That usually works, and he knows when I'm off usually, and that's so, very sporadic.
Nice.
I also suck at texting, as everyone knows.
Yes.
And the same thing with him. So I veces ni le contesto like all day because I'll be busy, or sometimes I will text like constantly throughout the day. Like, it really depends on the day and how I feel, because I'm everywhere. You know, I feel like I use a lot of energy at work, and usually that's where a lot of it is spent. So I'm not really on my phone texting people. And that includes him sometimes, you know, because I just need my time too. Yeah, whatever.
That's real.
Yeah, and he gets it. He's like
very spontaneous,
chill, and like, he knows that usually if I need my time, like, I'd rather not give off very bad negative energy when I'm like not feeling good. Yeah.
Nice.
I love it. Very go with the flow, like you said.
Yeah. Ay como va, como caiga.
For real.
Exactly.
That's good. Yeah. I'm trying to do more like that.
More spontaneous?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's segue into that.
Yeah. I thought that was a good segue.
Yeah, that was a very great segue. Since we talked about routines, being a little bit spontaneous, and one way to do that, I think, is through date nights. But first of all, like, what do you consider a date night, especially now that we've all been in relationships for a substantial amount of time? Like, how would you define a date night with your partner?
I mean, I don't know. I think everybody has their own definitions of date night, and we have had a wide variety of date nights, because we have had our let's go out to eat, let's go watch a movie, type of date nights that I feel like are more like the stereotypical date nights. Like, but we've also had our let's order takeout and lay on the couch with blankets and then eat food and pass out. Like, and that's a date night for us. Like, so I think it just depends on the vibe and your mood, and like, because there are times where like I don't feel like getting dressed and putting makeup on and going and sitting in a restaurant. Like I feel like ordering takeout and sitting on my couch and watching TV with a warm blanket on. Like,
for real.
And then so I think we've had a wide variety of date nights. I would definitely say our preferred one, just me and him, is takeout on the couch.
Nice.
Like, he's not a big go to a fancy restaurant, and neither am I. Like, I like eating out, but I would rather like grab the food and eat it on my couch.
Yeah.
So that's pretty common for us.
I think everybody has their own definition of a date night. Do whatever works for you, I think. And I guess for me and Jesus, I think it's just more us being intentional about like, because we do see each other a lot. I mean, we live together. We don't have any kids. So like all of our time when we're not working and we're at home, like we're spending it together. But I think the difference is when we're intentionally doing something like, oh, today let's pick up food and watch a movie, or let's pick up, or like, let's go out, let's grab some drinks, let's go to a bar, we'll do that. Or let's go with Mia to the park, or, you know, something, let's have a picnic. So I think when we're being a little bit more intentional, then I would consider that more of a date night, whether that's going out or eating here or having a paint night at home. Like, that's what I consider a date night. It's just being a little bit more intentional, regardless of how I look or what we're doing and what we're wearing. Like, it's just more connecting.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say, connection. That was going to be my word, because we also do a variety, everything that y'all just said. We either go out to eat or we stay at home. We like to do paint nights. We like to have movie nights. We like to play card games with one another. We'll do Monopoly or whatever. And so
it's
like,
a long game.
It is a long game. We never finish it. We never get to the end, but the intention is there and we try. But we really like Exploding Kittens. That's the game that we really like to play. I don't know if y'all have played it.
No.
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
It's so confusing.
It's confusing in the beginning, but it's so fun after. Like, it's really cool. Anyway, so we like to play games and stuff like that. But it's really, I think, to me, about connecting, like, because we live together and we do things together and we see each other all the time. But it's not always about the intention of being together, because we're just like, it's part of our routine. Like, I'm going to make some food, we're going to eat, we're going to go to bed, whatever. But what I would consider more of like a quote unquote date night is, okay, I'm intentionally, like you said, Michelle, spending time with you, and I'm here to connect with you. This is our time together. You know, there's always like stuff to learn about each other and things that you can do together to grow together. So I think that's part of also like the date night. It's just doing things as a couple maybe, and just connecting. I guess that's how I would define it.
I think for us, because we usually just hang out on the weekends, we like to usually just take it easy. But like Kumari said, that intentionality behind it about doing something, you know, hanging out, spending that quality time together.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice. So then would you say, are date nights important in your relationship? Like, are they important to like sustain your relationship? Or is it just kind of like a bonus fun thing that it is always nice to do with your partner?
Are they important? I guess it depends on your relationship, and like, I feel like maybe it is if you don't have that much. No, I just think in general, I just think it's better than not, I would say. So if you can intentionally spend more time together doing whatever it is that you both like to do, I think that's good. I think that'll make you grow together as a couple or as your relationship. So why not? I would say, I think going on, like, having date nights are good. But I know that maybe sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes, you know, schedules, especially with like work or in general, it can be really hard to maybe fit that intentionality in. But as long as you both try, or even if you can't have like a date night, you can have like maybe like a date activity within the day. or I don't know. I just think it's good to connect to whatever capacity people can.
I always think of it like, even if let's say you're single and you are just doing the same routine every single day, like, it's nice to go out and do something different and fun. And I think that kind of lifts spirits a little bit, or it nourishes you, or it fills your energy a little bit more. And I think that's important to do even as a couple, like, because we talked about routines and how we do the same things most of the days. And now we're just kind of like, just kind of in this repetition mode, but it's always nice to do something different. And I think that does help with connecting with one another, is like trying something fun together, or just like, you know what? I'm chilling. I'm going to sit on the couch and eat takeout and watch this movie with the blanket. Want to come under the blanket with me and we'll just like cuddle and watch a movie. You know what I mean? Like, just things like that. Super simple, but like very meaningful. And I think, to do that every once in a while, I think is good. It can be helpful.
Well, for me, bringing it back to the offspring, date nights are very rare for us because pinches chamacos. No, because we both have kids, but they're from previous relationships. So our schedules vary with our children, and there are days that we have both. There are days where only one is with us. But it is kind of rare for neither one of them to be with us. So, and that actually is something we've talked about, is like, when we have neither child with us, like, we should make more of an effort to do something together, as opposed to like laying in a quiet house. Although that can be nice too. Like when it's so loud all the time and kids running around and cartoons playing, and when they're gone, it's like, it's silent in here. This is nice. So I would say, like, they are important in my situation, and we notice when we haven't had one in a while. Like, we'll go months without nothing because we just couldn't make it happen with the kids, or whatever the case may be. But then we're like, it's been a while. Like, we need some time alone to like go out to eat, or just do something, just me and him. But we are both very blessed to have family here. So, like, she has taken her for me so I could go out. My mom will, and then he has the same situation. He has a brother, and his mom also helps a lot. So if we ever just really need a night out, like, we have help with our kids.
When you were talking, Brenda, it made me think of something that Jesus and I have recently talked about, because we kind of only held off like date nights or like date activities for the weekend. And so I felt like we were like living for the weekend instead of like maybe doing something like a date activity during the weekday, where we could make our weekday a little bit more exciting besides just working. So we've been trying to implement that a little bit, if our schedules work, but it's hard sometimes. And I don't even have kids. So, I can't imagine when I do have kids, like, how to incorporate all of that. But that's great that you have like your family there and your support, and that you're both intentionally trying to, do more of these date night things together.
And once they get older, it'll be easier, I think, too.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I can't wait till I can leave them home alone. Don't lock the door, or lock the door.
You said don't lie.
Lock the door.
Thanksgiving.
Lock the door. Happy Thanksgiving.
Say, don't open the door. Keep the door locked. Make yourself some cereal. Like, call me if you need anything, but try not to call me.
Yeah.
It's so funny. No, yeah, it'll get easier. So, funny question. Okay, before my sister heads out, let's ask, what is the most embarrassing thing you have done in front of your partner, if you are willing to share? No judgment here.
I guess, I don't know if this is like the most embarrassing, but it's the most recent thing. It was like yesterday or 2 days ago.
Oh no, what'd you do?
What did you do? I mean, it's really not that bad, but in the moment I was like, why did I do that?
Oops.
I got out of the shower and I got dressed and whatever I was going about. It was like at night, like the kids were already in bed. Like I said, it was afterwards, and he he looks at me, he goes, "Why do you have your shirt on backwards?" What are you talking about? And I actually had my shirt on backwards, and I had no idea.
Nice.
Oh,
Like,
that's hilarious.
I literally didn't. And he's like, "Your shirt's on backwards." I was like, "Oh, my bad." I truly didn't realize it.
That's hilarious.
That's the most recent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've definitely done that before.
Yeah, I have too. But on
Shirts,
purpose.
yeah.
On purpose.
Oh, mine was not intentional at all. I really thought I had it on right.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm trying to think, but if anybody has one, I'm like, what have I done?
Mine's really embarrassing. Oh my god. I'll say it. It was one of the first times, because we were long distance, right? So it was one of the first times Jesus came to visit me. And at that time, I was living at a dorm at UW-Madison. And so he came to visit me. And literally on the first day he got here, okay, for some people who don't know my stomach, I have like certain stomach problems when it comes to like dairy. And so I was really gassy. And tell me.
Oh,
there was
God.
one time where I was sitting on my desk and I was working, and he was like on the chair, like also doing his homework. And then all you hear is like a big fart. And tell me why I didn't even acknowledge it. I acted like nothing happened.
Meech, that makes it worse.
I know. Because in my head I was like, wow, I blew it. I blew it now. Like, he's not going to like me anymore. And I'm like,
blew it.
so that's why I pretended like nothing happened. And then he didn't say anything either.
Oh my god.
And then after we've been together for a while, he's like, remember that time you farted?
Oh. Okay, well, you talked about it later. I was like, have y'all not talked about this?
No,
yet?
we've talked about it. We've joked about it. But yeah, but I could see he was like holding in his laughter and like just trying not to say anything, because I legit was just like, yeah, I think that was the most embarrassing thing that I've done for sure.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I love how you played it cool, even though it was so not subtle.
Yeah, I literally acted like, what? That wasn't me.
I like to wear these joggers that I wear like all the time, and I always have like a crooked line on my like the butt line is always like crooked. So like the first time she caught me, she's like, "Why are your pants like that?" I'm like, "I don't know. I can't control it. I have to like fix it all the time." So at first I found it embarrassing. I thought I was embarrassed, but after a while, I'm like, just fix it for me. Whatever. Moving on.
Yeah.
Nice. But in the beginning, you do find those things kind of like embarrassing, and then you start to be more comfortable, and it's like, well, you've seen me like first thing in the morning when I wake up, like it's cool. You're still here, so I'm not stressing about it.
For sure.
Okay. Well, before we let you go, I'm not gonna ask you one more. Okay. So we did want to end with this one at least. What advice would you give to anyone trying to be in a relationship or in a long-term relationship?
Have a lot of patience.
Okay.
And yeah, I think the biggest thing is you need to have patience with the other person, and you need to be willing to compromise, because it's two different people essentially, and regardless of how similar you may be or how many things you may have in common, there's always going to be things that you don't agree on, or so you have to be willing to compromise and have patience with the other person.
Yeah.
And it's vice versa, because they may not agree with you either on certain things, and also knowing that it's okay to disagree. Like, I have very much gotten to the point where like I can agree to disagree, and I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to. We do have to respect each other. Like, you need to respect my opinion, and I'll respect yours, even though I don't agree with it. But yeah, I would say any relationship takes work, regardless of if it's long term or not. Like, but if you want it to see the long run and see like a future, you do need to have patience for the person and be willing to compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Good answers.
That's good. Yeah, that's fair. I agree.
Something, at least when I think about just like mine, I think like emotionally, I always feel like I need to keep in mind that I need to be my own person. You know, like I feel like it's important to like share each other's companionship and life and all that together, but like you're still yourself and like honor yourself and your own, you know, like así como like respect your own boundaries and you know within yourself and grow within your relationship, and those two things are separate but can be combined. And like I think that I don't know why, but that's always prominent in my head when it comes to like being in a relationship, because I feel like sometimes I can engulf myself too quickly in a relationship and like feel like I depend yo personalmente, you know. So I feel like just like, you know, honor you as an individual, and obviously you're going to respect your partner along the way, all that good shit, right? But like that's what I think a lot of. But I don't want it to sound out like I don't want to be like just don't depend on the person, because like I don't think that that statement is true in and of itself. So like being clear, I feel like there's things that like as with partners, there's like a trust y todo eso that causes some kind of like not dependence, but you know, agreement or whatever, and like support and all that.
Yeah, that makes me think of when people say like you shouldn't have to like need the person necessarily, but you want them in your life. But if something happens, like you're still good because you are, you know, centered and grounded in yourself as a person, and you know, ultimately you do have to watch out for yourself. But you know, it's always nice to share a life with somebody too, you know, and be wanting to be with them and share that companionship and life and stuff and do life together, I think is great. At the same time, making sure that you're good, you know?
Yeah.
So
I like that.
Yeah, because I feel like
it too.
like as mujeres too, like we're so giving and so like, you know, like I love you, and we may reciprocate that or like show that in different ways. And mine is sometimes labor, you know, and like that labor means time, and time is energy and all that, and like I love it and I will do it, and like to those that I love and to my partner. But like, you know, there's a limit and there's a time where you need your space and your time.
Yeah, you gotta respect that space.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna finish off this episode with just Yackie, Michelle, and I. My sister had to head out, but we really appreciate her being here with us today. Yep. And Yackie, we appreciate you staying here with us for a little bit longer.
Yep.
I know we've had some long days and it's a Monday, so
for real. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being on, Brenda, if you are listening to this later on.
Yes. Future Brenda.
Future Brenda. All right. So, what advice would you give, Cinthia Beans, to people who want to be in a relationship or a long-term relationship?
I forgot we also had to answer that question.
Not escaping.
We're not off the hook. I know, we're not off the hook.
For real. Everybody wants to know what's your tip, what's your advice, or if you don't, I don't know. You know, I don't know. Go.
What? You know, I don't know. You know, I don't know.
No,
okay.
I'm just talking. I don't know what I'm saying.
No, you're good. You're good. So I really like what y'all both said, like Yackie, what you said and what my sister said. I think there's a lot of merit to that, and I truly believe that relationships do take work. And Michelle, you and I have talked about this in the podcast before. So I do think that still holds true. I think no matter how long you're in a relationship, there's always going to be effort to be made. And I think you have to, if you want to sustain a relationship that's consistent, that's consistent, I think showing up for yourself and also showing up for your partner is important. And learning what they want from you or what they, like, be intentional and clear about your expectations and show up in ways that your partner likes for you to show up for them, you know. And I think we've talked about love languages before in the past, and what are your love languages and how do you feel loved and how do you feel supported and seen and heard, right? So like learning that about your partner, I think is important. How can I make you feel seen? How can I make you feel heard? I'm here for you, right? So I think putting in the effort in that way is a good way to kind of like sustain a relationship, because you're showing them that you really care about them, you know, and you want to be there for them. And yeah, I don't know. I guess that would be part of my advice, along with everything that has already been said.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's my turn now.
You can't escape it either, Mish.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I don't feel like I'm an expert, but I can say what I intentionally do to make my relationship work.
Yeah.
You can take this as advice or not. But I guess I really agree with what Brenda was saying and Yackie was saying. But I also think like communication is really important. I also think that friendship in a relationship, especially a romantic relationship, is important. Like I personally really do feel like I have a friendship with Jesus. Like I just really like the type of person that he is. And I think that's a really strong basis for our relationship, is we just genuinely enjoy each other's company regardless of what we're doing. Like just being us together is like the most fun. We really, you know what I mean? So if you can find genuine friendship within your relationship, I think that's important. I think understanding is really important. And I really like Jackie's point where she said that, you know, honoring yourself and your goals and like your independence and not being codependent on your partner. I do think that, you know, you do merge your lives together as a partnership, and I think that's important to merge your lives, but at the same time not losing yourself, not losing who you are outside of that relationship, I think is so important. I think that's something that I also value and try to do within my relationship. So yeah, I think there's different things, or people can give different type of advice, but I think it just depends on the type of relationship you want to have with your partner. But I think a lot of it really ties down to communication, trust, friendship, and being able to disagree. I think it's important. Like if you can disagree in a healthy way with your partner, I think that's a really great thing too, because there's not always just going to be great times and good times. Like there's going to be arguments, there's going to be bad days, there's going to be a lot of things that life throws at you. And so, yeah,
I think that's good. I don't think like people need to like pick and choose like what advice, or you know what I'm saying? I think all of this, I think all of what everybody said is important. And so, so I don't think it's like either or. I think all this advice is good, which is why we like to ask these questions, and especially when we have guests, because people give different types of advice, but all of it is, I think, important to hear. And someone's going to take something out of this, which is like part of the point, right? And so like, and I think all of that is important. The trust, the communication, understanding that you're not always going to agree on everything. And and you know, figure out a way to still show up for each other in those moments.
All right, that was the end of our podcast episode. My apologies for ending it so abruptly. We had some audio and technical difficulties towards the end and also throughout, so apologies for that. And we still hope that you enjoyed it and took something from it. I know I shared a really personal and funny story, so please do not judge me. But this episode should be out by Valentine's Day, if not post Valentine's Day, and we hope that it was filled with a lot of love and friendship and joy and happiness and all that great stuff with good vibes. So that's it. That's all we have. Please make sure to like, subscribe, rate our podcast, and we'll catch you at the next one. Thanks. Bye.